I feel like about every 20 years, the Episcopal Church has said we need to have a re-articulation of our traditions, of how we understand Bible, how we understand theology, how we understand, again, just the basic shape of what it means to be Episcopalian and what it has meant. What is that history? This is a time. And Eric and I, along with a number of other people who will be writing and thinking with us over the next few years, wanted to offer our perspective and to gather a lot of other voices to say, what is the Episcopal way today? And not only for us to say it, but to provide some tools so that you can find words for yourself to describe what is the Episcopal way as you understand it. What are these treasures as you are living them? Or as you're even just beginning to discover them. To find that for yourself, to be able to share it with other people, maybe the person next to you on a subway in New York or at the grocery store in LA, since you don't have subways. But and wherever you are, to be able to share the goodness and to ask questions and engage in conversation with other people. So we just wanted to provide some tools, some language, and an open door for people, again, to explore, to discover more and more about the Episcopal way for themselves.
I think everyone agrees that the world has changed drastically in the last 50 years. And we want to take the world as it is, not what we think it should be. And we believe that the Episcopal way is still the way to go. So, for example, we have a term called via media. How is it relevant today? And we say that the Episcopal way traveled via media, a balanced both and path that holds complexity and seeming contradiction without losing its hold on faith and truth. Now that's a whole mouthful. We think this balanced approach to life, which is part of the Episcopal way, is totally relevant today.
And there's so much that's relevant in the Episcopal way. And what we have to figure out is, how do you share that? We've actually come up with a definition that we hope is helpful, and that we also hope that people will engage online and in book study groups and in online classes just like this. Feel free to try this out for yourself. What we would say is that the Episcopal way is a combination of practices, attitudes, and approaches to God that have been nurtured by the Episcopal Church. It's actually that simple. Now, how that gets lived out in particular, we go on to describe in this way.
We follow Jesus with our souls, minds, and arms open wide, ready to love God, our neighbors, and the world. Jesus was and is both and, drawing together human and divine. We hope to be both and Christians, drawing together and embracing ancient tradition and the wisdom just over the horizon.
Drawing together reason and mystery.
Beauty and justice.
The Catholic and the Protestant.
Discipline and freedom.
The body and the spirit.
Deep faith and probing questions.
And ultimately, the cross and the resurrection.
This is the Episcopal way of following Jesus. So let's walk.
I hope that as people discover this way, what they'll realize is that a lot of the things that we have thought of as opposites in Christian life don't have to be. That because of that via media, because of that both and tradition, a lot of the way gets woven together instead of separated out. We've been presented with a lot of false choices. It's time to bring them together in a unified way of life with Jesus. We think of that way as the Episcopal way.